Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Cheifs Latest, sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. This is your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. You see this QR code? That's right. You see it right here. Top right corner of your screen. That means it's another episode sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Listen, I'm going to have a promo code for you. And not only that, I'm going to have some hires and lowers for a conference player that is going to be competing this weekend. That way you can get in on the action and follow along with me. Hey, I've been having a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of success on this app, so you're going to want to follow along. Go ahead right now. Again, take out your phone, scan that QR code, download the app, and by the time it is ready to go, we'll be in the middle of the episode and you'll be ready for those picks. But before we do any of that, you guys know the drill. We are continuously growing here at Cheifs Latest. Your guys' love and support have been nonstop, and then it's been fantastic the last couple weeks. So let's keep it going. If you haven't joined the Cheifs Latest family, what are you doing? That's right. Come be a part of this fantastic journey. Hit that subscribe button and also turn on those notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos here at Cheifs Latest, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the news, rumors, or actions regarding this team. So what are you waiting for? Come be a part of the family. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now it's official. The Chiefs have agreed to a multi-year deal with Eric Bieniemy to return as offensive coordinator, which is coming just 2 days after requesting and receiving permission from Chicago to interview him. So it was a very fast process here for Kansas City, which means they probably already had their mind made up where they wanted to go. Now, earlier Wednesday, Mahomes shared his excitement on Instagram with an old photo of himself and Bieniemy, adding 3 flexed bicep emojis. Now, I know this isn't everyone's top choice. I know some people wanted Cliff Kingsbury, Mike McDaniel, but I can't imagine that Mahomes didn't have some significant input here. After missing the playoffs and then seeing him go down with a major injury, I feel like the organization would naturally want to keep their franchise quarterback happy. So that means involve him in such a key decision. Again, I understand people being maybe upset with the Chiefs not bringing in quote unquote new, fresh ideas from the outside. But again, I feel like Mahomes likely had a say in what he wanted as well. Mahomes himself spoke to the need for change, saying he wanted, quote, someone that loves football, that cares about football, that wants to do everything they can to win, to hold people accountable, and to bring new ideas every single day, end quote. And I think few names fit that description better than Bieniemy. During his time leading this offense, the Chiefs never finished lower than 6 in points per game. Back in 2022, he played a central role in Mahomes winning MVP, and not only that, the team claiming a Super Bowl. That 2022 season, the offense averaged 29 points per game, a mark that dropped sharply over the next 3 years under the previous staff, never exceeding 22 and dipping to 21 in 2 of those campaigns. This isn't just about Bieniemy and Mahomes either. The team has made several offensive staff changes, including offensive coordinator, running backs coach, wide receivers coach, assistant running back coach, and offensive assistant. It feels like a clear signal of the direction that the organization wants to head to, and that's back towards what worked before. Bieniemy's return brings back the accountability, the intensity, and the proven production that defined the offense's peak years. I mean, top 6 in scoring consistently under him. Yeah, bring that back, please. Mahomes' visible support and the timing, I think that suggests that this was a good move to restore standards and spark a rebound. Again, it's not the flashiest hire, but a familiar, trusted voice to fix sloppiness and elevate the group. I get the Mike McDaniel, I get the Cliff Kingsbury, but I feel like Mahomes is very happy with this situation as well. But the praise for the Chiefs' new offensive coordinator, it keeps coming. And Travis Kelce, he shared some strong words about Bieniemy on the latest New Heights episode. After a decade working side by side at Arrowhead, Bieniemy was clearly not only a mentor, but a close friend to Kelce, as he said, quote, I love that shit. I think it's great. I think it's a marriage that's going to pick up right where it left off. EB and who he is as a coach, you can see kind of his personality and what he brings to the table. You could see those running backs over in Chicago, and their body of work was definitely at Eric Bieniemy's style of football, end quote. The Bears, they finished third in the league in rushing yards per game, 144.5, and yards per carry at 4.86. Kansas City, by comparison, ranked 25th in rushing yards per game at 106.6 and 20th in yards per carry at 4.21. Now, we recently discussed whether that this reunion is going to convince Kelsey to return for one more season, and these comments, they sound promising. He went on to say, quote, "I can't wait to see him back in the building, man. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time. He's one of my favorite people of all time. I've had so many unbelievable growing moments under him as a player, as a person," end quote. Now, you could argue that the other new offensive coaching additions are where the real optimism for improvement lies with this offense, not just Bieniemy's return as an enforcer, though he is going to bring some sort of fire, some sort of spark. But there's also praise and optimism building around another coach that we're going to get to right after we go through some underdog fantasy projections. So Kelsey's glowing praise for Bieniemy, I think that reinforces the emotional and professional pull of this reunion, as it's someone he trusts, someone he respects, and someone that he thrived under. Not only that, the Bears' strong run game under Bieniemy shows that he can bring some balance and physicality that we've lacked for this offense. If this helps keep Kelsey around for one more year while injecting accountability and some energy, it's a win-win situation. It's a double win. I'm not going to complain about it. I think Kelsey can still play at a pretty elite level, at least for his age. Again, cheap deal. It could it could work. Now, football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. You get them right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Now, I'm about to go over my selections for a conference player that'll be competing this weekend. And you can follow along by downloading the app today. You see the promo code right here in the top right corner. Go ahead, use that. And also use promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we got some projections for you. That's right. Let's quickly dive into the AFC Conference Championship round matchup between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos set for Sunday afternoon. We're focusing on Patriots quarterback Drake May and his projections, and you can see on your screen, we're looking at passing yards, rush plus receiving touchdowns, passing touchdowns, rush yards, and interceptions thrown. I'll break down each one with stats from May's 2025 regular and postseason, plus some insights. So again, go ahead, use that QR code and follow along with me. We're going to start with passing yards. I'm going lower than 226.5, and this is slightly due to a shakier start to his postseason play, but Denver knows their defense has to play lights out for them to stand a chance without Bo Nix. Listen, I know May has thrown for more than 226.5 yards 13 times in the regular season, but I think this defense, who led all NFL teams during the regular season with 68 sacks, will cause pressure unseen this season for May, which will throw him off his game. This is a top 10 passing defense in the league from Denver, and we know their secondary. I think May comes just short and goes lower than 226.5 passing yards. I think Denver knocked the bye week rust off. I think that's going to patch up a defense that, yes, allowed Allen in the ground game to have some success, but ultimately they created 4 turnovers and made the splash plays. Next up, and this one's interesting, but 0.5 rush plus receiving touchdowns. And again, I'm leaning lower. May isn't known for his legs getting himself into the end zone, with the last rushing touchdown coming back on December 12th, and before that, it was September 28th. Not only that, he's only averaging 26.5 rushing yards a game and has had fumble problems lately, meaning the likelihood of a touchdown coming this way, it's pretty low. I don't see this coming via a receiving touchdown either. He's had one target all season for 2 yards. Again, I'm leaning lower on 0.5 rush plus receiving touchdowns. While moving to the passing touchdowns at 1.5, I'd go higher. First off, Drake May is coming off a 3-touchdown performance against a strong defense in the Texans. And with Stidham running this offense, I'm expecting either more turnovers or just better field position that May and this offense can take advantage of. When teams start their backups, they generally try to lean on the ground attack. Well, the Broncos are just 16th in the NFL in rush EPA per play, while the Patriots have an elite rushing defense when their defensive front is fully healthy. And hey, it's healthy right now. So I like May having those ideal circumstances for him to go above 1.5 passing touchdowns. Now, rushing yards sitting at 31.5. This one was pretty tough, but I'm going to lean lower. May has been able to beat this number only 7 times this season, and while he did rush for 66 and 41 yards the past couple weeks, we know he tends to stay under this number for a majority of teams, whether they're good at getting pressure on the quarterback, forcing them out of the pocket or not. Again, this one is tough, but I'm leaning lower on 31.5 rushing yards. And finally, interceptions thrown, looking at higher or lower at 0 0.5. I'm going lower. May had an excellent 2025 regular season, finishing with 31 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions over 492 pass attempts, while leading the league in completion percentage and passer rating. So that shows strong ball security overall. In the Patriots' most recent playoff win, yes, he threw an interception, but there was some pressure and there was just honestly some poor weather. Conversely, the Broncos defense isn't among the NFL's best at forcing interceptions, ranking modestly in opponent interception percentage allowed. Given May's typically careful decision making and the Patriots' game planning focused around just getting started early and not allowing Stidham to hang around, I think going lower than 0 0.5 interceptions on May is a logical choice. So there you have it, a balanced look at Drake May's projections for this playoff clash. Overall, going lower on passing yards, rush plus receiving touchdowns, rush yards, and interceptions thrown, while going higher on pass touchdowns, I think that's the move. So this will be a great conference championship round matchup, one I think that the Patriots and Drake May are going to win. What do you think? Are you ready to lock these in? Again, you see the QR code right here in the top right corner. Download the Underdog Fantasy app today and use promo code FootballFan to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that's promo code FootballFan. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text Mike 467-369.
Shout out to Underdog Fantasy once again for sponsoring today's video. Go ahead and use that QR code right here on your screen. Well, as we mentioned earlier, the Chiefs hired Chad O'Shea as wide receivers coach this week, and the praise for him is already rolling in, much like Bieniemy's was for people who know him and have worked with him for a while. Rob Gronkowski, who teamed up with O'Shea during the Patriots dynasty years, spoke highly on him on Up and Adams, saying the coach, quote, helped establish that offense, helped that offense grow. He helped those wide receivers be on the same page as Tom Brady, end quote. We have a generational winning quarterback ourselves in Mahomes, much like Brady. And if O'Shea can get receivers in sync and be productive with one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest ever, there's reason to believe he can do the same right here. Drop passes, poor spacing, slow development, injuries, suspensions. All this has held this room back for Kansas City, this wide receiver room in recent years. So a voice reset was the correct and right call. And Gronk added, quote, it's how you connect with these guys and how you can bring the best out of them. And that's what he does. And that's why he's so great, end quote. O'Shea helped guide veterans like Randy Moss, Wes Welker in their primes. And then Gronkowski, he was credited him with playing a big role in Julian Edelman's rise, with Edelman retiring third all time in postseason receptions with 118, trailing only Kelsey and Jerry Rice. Gronk, he summed it up saying, quote, I truly believe that he fits at the wide receiver position better than any other coach out there. He's a top guy, probably a top 3 wide receiver coach in the NFL. There's no doubt about that, end quote. O'Shea could also help in the red zone, with the Patriots finishing strong in that category in 2018, converting touchdowns on 76.92% of red zone chances in their final 3 games. Overall that year, they ranked in the top half of the league at 62.86% red zone touchdown rate. Since 2007, O'Shea was part of 10 different top 10 offenses and red zone scoring percentage. Even more telling, Edelman shared on his podcast that O'Shea prepared detailed 30-play cut-ups on every opposing corner, highlighting their strengths, their weaknesses, and their tendencies. That level of preparation feels like a clear upgrade from what we saw under Connor Embry. So O'Shea's hire brings championship level pedigree from the Patriots dynasty with proven ability to connect with players, develop route runners, and create consistent production. His red zone and matchup prep could fix the drops, the separation issues, and just the slow growth overall in that room. Exactly the experienced voice to unlock the potential of this group. and it couldn't come fast enough. Well, the Buffalo Bills are in complete disarray right now, with Sean McDermott's firing being the start of it all, and then the owner took a public swipe at wideout Keon Coleman. He said Coleman wasn't high on GM Brandon Beane's board, and that Beane was, quote, being a team player, end quote, by making the pick. It's hard to see how Coleman doesn't feel thrown under the bus now, both the owner and front office openly downplaying what he can do. So there is no way that relationship stays healthy. I'd be shocked if Coleman isn't moved at some point. The Chiefs, staring at a thin receiver room for 2026, just Jalen Royals, Rasheed Rice, and Xavier Worthy right now under contract, could absolutely look at this possibility of a trade. Coleman has 2 years left on his rookie deal, and if Buffalo truly isn't sold, he might come cheap. In 2 seasons with the Bills, he's caught 67 of 116 targets. That's 57.8% for 960 yards, 14.3 per catch, and 8 touchdowns. 2025 wasn't great overall, but he flashed early. An 8-catch, 112-yard game in Week 1 showed the upside. Adding him wouldn't break the bank, and it gives you another option to develop. Buffalo's public shade on Coleman opens a potential low-cost trade opportunity for KC, who is thin at wide receiver beyond Royals, Rice, and Worthy. If the Bills sour completely, Chiefs could snag a reclamation project with some real tools. But again, I don't know if the Bills are really in business of trading or working with the Chiefs. They got their own problems. They're trying to get over this playoff hump, and I don't know if they want to give a team like the Chiefs more firepower. Well, that is all that I have for you guys on this Thursday. Let me know in the comments what you think about maybe trading for Keon Coleman, and are you guys finally coming around to the idea of Eric Bieniemy being our offensive coordinator? Again, if you haven't already, you guys see the QR code right here in the top right corner. Go ahead, pull out your cell phones, download the Underdog Fantasy app, follow along with my picks, and let me know which ones you're feeling the most confident about. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. You are listening to Cheifs Latest. I am your host, Calvin Silvers, and until next time, have a good one.